Talk about New Year customs in Korea. People in Korea like to watch the sunrise on the first day of the new year. They wish upon the first sunrise and they vote to do better. Many people wake up at the crack of dawn on New Year's Day to see the sunrise. Some hike up a mountain to get a better view of the sunrise. Rice cake soup is a traditional dish people eat on New Year's Day. Eating the dish symbolizes growing a year older. I drew up some plans for the new year. Personally, I hope I can be healthier this year. I plan to work out regularly to shed a few pounds and to improve my fitness. Last year, I stopped exercising because I was too busy. This year, I will strengthen my resolve and keep at it. I also want to spend my time with my family. I want to visit my parents more often and spend quality time with my son. Finally, I plan to spend wisely and save up more money. I also want to study up on good investments. Talk about dryers. In most Korean households, it was commonplace to dry laundry on a drying rack. However, dryers are also becoming more widespread lately. The prices have dropped and they are easier to install. More and more, they are becoming the norm. Most people who have used dryers speak highly of them. The biggest advantage is that you can save time when you do the laundry. You don't need to make space for a drying rack, so it also looks neater. You can even dry a heavy blanket in just a few hours. Talk about electronic wardrobes. In the past few years, Korean electronic companies have released products called stylers or air dressers. They are real game changers. When you hang clothes in them, they get rid of bad odors and press out wrinkles. They can even make clothes smell nice. Owners can save time on washing or ironing clothes. This makes them really convenient. It also means you don't need to have clothes laundered, so you can save on your laundry bill. These products are selling like hotcakes. The producers are taking aim at not only the domestic market, but the global market as well. Talk about when you sprained your ankle. I recently sprained my ankle while I was walking somewhere in a hurry. It hurt a lot and I stood in place for a while. The pain was so bad it was hard to walk. The next day my ankle had swollen up. I had to limp when I walked. I went to local Oriental medicine clinic. The doctor inspected my ankle. She treated it by applying acupuncture and cupping. After I received treatment a few times at the clinic, my ankle got much better. Personally, I think it's also effective to be treated with traditional remedies when I have a pain in my shoulder. Talk about when you have back pain. I recently put on some weight and my lower back began to hurt. It's quite common to have lower back pain after gaining weight. I think it's because the extra weight puts a heavier burden on the back. The pain got pretty bad, so I went to an orthopedic clinic. The doctor showed me an x-ray and explained why my back hurt. I received physical therapy to loosen up the muscles in my back. I also got a prescription for a muscle relaxant. The doctor said I had to shore up my back muscles by stretching. My back pain went away after about a week. Talk about housewarming parties. When Koreans move into a new house, they invite family and friends to a housewarming party. They prepare food with great care for the guests. The guests visit with the hope that the resident will be happy in the new house. To express this hope, they prepare small housewarming gifts. Generally, they bring daily necessities like toilet paper or detergent. These days, a lot of people also bring food to share, like cakes or wine. Talk about when you were invited to a housewarming party. A friend recently moved into a new house and invited me to a housewarming party. She has screamed and saved for a long time and finally bought an apartment. I wanted to congratulate her. The party was on Friday night, so I had some peace of mind. As a gift, I chose a pretty framed painting. I also bought an ice cream cake for everyone to share. When I got to my friend's house, there was a small spurt of delicious food. We took a tour of the house and stuffed ourselves. We had a whale of a time. It was a very memorable housewarming party. Talk about volunteering. People do volunteer work in different ways in various places. Donating money for a good cause also feels rewarding, but volunteering is even more meaningful. You have to go in person and invest your time and effort. People often volunteer at orphanages, welfare facilities for the disabled, and nursing homes. Some go on their own, others visit in groups with family members or co-workers. Volunteering this way can really make you feel a sense of pride. Now, talk about your personal volunteering experience. On a regular basis, I volunteer at an orphanage operated by a religious organization. I go to tidy up the place, do the laundry, cook food, and help the kids with their studies. Since last year, I've also brought my daughter, a high school student. It was very meaningful. She started in order to get community service credit at first, but now she does it of her own accord. By volunteering, she's learning to be considerate and offer a helping hand to others. I think it's helping her build character and become a better, unselfish person. Talk about the causes of deforestation. Places all around the world are suffering from deforestation. A rapid increase of farmland is one of the primary causes of deforestation. Forests are being recklessly destroyed to obtain farmland. Another reason is excessive logging. Wood is a material used for various everyday goods. It is a valuable resource, but a spike in demand is causing the destruction of forests. The Amazonian tropical rainforests of Brazil are known as the Earth's lungs. Their deforestation has a ripple effect on the entire global environment. Talk about impact of deforestation. Deforestation can lead to more frequent natural disasters that cause damage on a larger scale. When trees disappear, the ground becomes less stable. This increases the risk of landslides. It also increases damage caused by floods or drought. The effects of deforestation are not limited to nearby areas. Deforestation eventually leads to desertification. It can cause severe yellow dust. The dust is borne by the wind and wreaks havoc in neighboring countries. That's why it's important to prevent deforestation and to commit ourselves to restoring forests. Talk about January weather in Korea. January in Korea has the lowest average temperature of the year. Morning lows are almost below freezing. Even daytime highs hover around 0 degrees. During several cold spells, it's hard to even go outside. When the weather is gusty, the wind chill temperature drops even further. January is also the month with the most snow. The snowfall amount changes each year, but you're more likely than not to see snowy days in January. Talk about how people dress in the winter season. Winter in Korea is often bitterly cold. Bitterly cold. If you don't bundle up, you're very likely to catch a cold. To maintain body temperature, many people dress in layers. Men, women, and children often wear thermal underwear. This helps them maintain their body temperature. Warm sweaters and heavy coats are popular as outerwear. In recent years, long puffer coats have become popular and many people wear them. Scarves, wool hats, and gloves are also wintertime must-haves. Talk about how you feel when it snows. When I was young, I felt thrilled whenever it snowed. It was so much fun to make snowmen and snowball fights. Even now, I feel romantic when it snows. When I wake up in the morning to find a fresh coat of snow, it feels racing. But I also worry when it snows. I especially worried about my morning and evening commute. The roads get slippery when it snows. It's hard to get around by most means of transportation. I miss the days when snow excited me. Talk about the impact of a heavy snowfall. When there is heavy snow, the affected area enters a state of emergency. It becomes difficult to drive on the roads and various accidents occur. Traffic congestion intensifies. Transit time increases twofold. When melted snow on the roads freezes over again, it becomes difficult to use the roads at all. Even people moving on foot lose their footing and get hurt. These accidents are especially common along roads on an incline. That's why many people tense up when snow is in the forecast. Traffic tickets. Talk about parking tickets. There are lots of parking enforcement cameras in Korea. The system takes pictures of cars that are parked or stopped illegally on major streets. It then imposes a fine. That's why it's important to check whether you are cleared to park in a space before you do so. Last year, I stopped by the road for about 10 minutes to wait for someone. A few weeks later, I got a ticket for illegal parking. I was at the wheel, but they still took a picture. Ever since then, I take a good look around to see if there are cameras. Talk about speeding tickets. Drivers have to pay traffic fines from time to time. Speeding tickets are the most common. Drivers can get tickets for going over the speed limit on the highway. These days, SatNav apps tell you where the cameras are, which helps. However, drivers still get tickets on city streets. For example, it can happen in school zones where drivers have to take it slow. Even without flooring it, they get tickets because the speed limit is so slow. Talk about how you get internet access on your phone. Wireless communications in Korea are cutting edge. Korea commercialized its 5G network last year, a world first. 5G is much quicker than earlier networks, so you can do a lot more with your mobile devices. Most public spaces like schools, office buildings, coffee shops, and hotels offer Wi-Fi access. You can even use wireless internet in moving bullet trains. Many people use unlimited data plans so they can use all the data they need. Talk about how you get wireless internet at home. We have set up a wire-free environment at our home. We installed wireless routers in the living room and study. You can get a Wi-Fi signal anywhere in the house. We access the internet on laptops, tablets, and phones by connecting to Wi-Fi. The TV in the living room is also wirelessly connected. We can use it to watch internet videos. The Wi-Fi speed in the house has gotten much faster than before. It's because we have access to a higher speed network in our new apartment. These days, it's become necessary to set up wireless internet access in each and every home. Describe how you use your banking app. I take care of a lot of my banking errands using a mobile app. Most commonly, I check the transaction records or check the balance. I make sure my monthly pay has been deposited and the various bills have been deposited automatically. In the past, I needed a separate app for each bank. Now I can keep track of several bank accounts with just one app. It's really convenient. The best part is that I can run bank errands around the clock as long as I have my phone. Talk about problems you had while using a banking app. One problem I had with banking apps was because of the bank's transfer limit. I had to transfer a sizable amount of money, but there was a limit on the amount I could transfer in one go through mobile banking. There was nothing for it but to visit a bank in person and raise the limit. Another time, my authentication certificate had passed the expiration date. The certificate is essential for mobile banking, but it's only valid for 1 year. I have to renew the certificate each year. I can only use it if I go through the process of registering it with the bank. Talk about the heating system in Korea. In Western countries, it's customary to heat a home by using a hot air. But houses in Korea use a unique heating system. Pipes are installed under the floor and hot water flows through the pipes. The warm floor then heats up the air inside. As the air circulates, the room temperature becomes warmer. People can set the temperature differently for each room. This unique heating method at Korean homes goes back hundreds of years. Talk about electric mats. To save cash on the heating bill in the winter, I keep the temperature inside at a suitable level. To stay warm while I sleep, I put an electric mat on the bed. The heat from the mat keeps the bed nice and toasty. It doesn't get cold at all. I can use it at whatever temperature I see fit. Electric mats are useful, but you have to be careful when you use them. Too high a temperature can cause low temperature burns. If the mat is damaged, you'd run the risk of starting a fire. That's why you should always exercise caution when you use an electric mat. Talk about cotton swabs. I use cotton swabs on a daily basis. After I take a shower, I use cotton swabs to mop up the moisture in my ears. It gets to me when my ears are wet, so drying them with cotton swabs has become a habit. I also use cotton swabs a lot to apply ointment to cuts. Finally, I use cotton swabs when I do my makeup or wash it off. Cotton swabs are also useful when touching on makeup. For removing makeup around the eyes, cotton swabs are absolutely necessary. Talk about where you buy cotton swabs. I buy cotton swabs in bulk. I usually buy them at the toiletries section of the store when I shop for groceries. It's cheaper to buy products that are packaged in bulk. Usually, I buy a 3-pack of large containers containing 600 swabs each. Because there are so many and they take up a lot of room, I take some out and put them in smaller containers. I keep them in the bathroom and on my vanity table. I keep the rest in the bathroom cabinet. It's less of a nuisance to buy a lot of cotton swabs this way, because then I can forget about it for a while. Talk about electronic cigarettes. E-cigarettes become widespread quite rapidly in recent years. Compared to ordinary cigarettes, e-cigarettes are easier to handle and smell less. They also get rid of a lot of the harmful substances in ordinary cigarettes. That's why a lot of smokers make the switch. However, there have been concerns over the safety of e-cigarettes. There have been reports of the batteries overheating to the point of exploding. Recently, there are questions over the harmful effects of e-cigarettes. New legal measures are becoming developed. Talk about recent actions taken on electronic cigarettes. As e-cigarettes have come into widespread use, various problems have popped up. First, a serious side effect is that they increase the smoking rate among young people. There have been causes of the smoke from e-cigarettes in liquid form causing serious lung conditions. Some cities in the U.S. have passed laws that prohibit the use of vaping devices that have added artificial flavorings. Signs indicate that laws governing e-cigarettes will be ramped up in Korea too. Talk about the TV character Peng-soo. A penguin character has been enjoying explosive popularity recently. He's named Peng-soo, and he is featured in EBS television program Giant Pen TV. At the moment, Peng-soo is a trainee at EBS. His dream is to become a top content creator. According to his audition tape, Peng-soo swam from Antarctica to Korea to fulfill his dream. At first, he was mostly popular among kids, but his popularity has grown steadily, and he is becoming a character beloved by men and women of all ages. At first, Peng-soo was geared towards young kids, but as he appeared in channels other than EBS and ran a YouTube channel of his own, he has been enjoying even greater success among adults. The number of subscribers to his YouTube channel has gone over 1 million. Peng-soo-related merchandise is flying off the shelves. One of the secret ingredients for Peng-soo's success is that he is not like characters in previous kids programs. He's not a goody-goody. His biggest asset is that he has no filter. He openly expresses his emotions. Talk about investing in stocks. Investing in stocks has its pros and cons. An advantage is that you can earn a higher profit compared to conventional financial investments. However, there is also a risk of taking a loss on your investment. That's why you have to be fully prepared. When trading stocks, you have to study up on the companies you want to invest in. You also have to closely monitor stock market trends. Furthermore, you need to have good timing when you buy or sell stocks to earn a profit. I've invested in stocks for quite a while. I continue to study corporate trends using various media. I also meticulously examine expert recommendations and industry prospects. I diversify my investments across various stocks. This way I can hedge against risk. Recently, I've started dabbling in stocks for American companies in addition to domestic stocks. Sometimes I earn a profit, but sometimes I sell at a loss. I think it's important to not get greedy and to have an investment plan. Language schools. Talk about language schools in Korea. There are many language schools in Korea. You can find them in downtown areas of all major cities. Some are chairs with brand locations across the country. Others are local businesses. Some schools cater to students in elementary, middle, and high school. Others are for adults. The vast majority of these language schools teach English. Of course, there are schools that teach Japanese or Chinese too. These days, there are lots of online courses in addition to the lessons at the schools. Talk about your experience of taking language classes. I've studied English diligently. I've turned into EBS radio and TV programs constantly for language studies. I've also taken language classes to level up my English speaking and listening ability. Online, I took classes to learn English that comes in handy while traveling. I also subscribed to a channel on YouTube to expand my knowledge of English by watching videos. However, once studies English, I think the main thing is to stay the course. This year, I'm thinking about learning Chinese as well. Okay, holiday traditions. Talk about holiday customs for the Lunar New Year holiday. The Lunar New Year holiday is one of Korea's biggest holidays for ages. It has been a custom for families to gather and holiday foods together. Rice cake soup is the most important Lunar New Year dish. People in Korea believe that eating the dish makes them age a year. Paying respects to ancestors is also a holiday tradition. Lots of people travel to their hometowns during the holiday. The highways get backed up badly. It is also very difficult to score tickets for trains or flights. Talk about what your family does during the Lunar New Year holiday. Our family travels to my parents' house on the eve of the Lunar New Year. My little brother's family also visits. We make holiday food together and also eat together. We catch up with my family members and have a good time. Children offer a New Year's bow to grown-ups and receive pocket money. We spend the night at my parents' house and eat breakfast there. Then we go to my in-laws' house to meet my father and mother-in-law. My sister-in-law is married and has a family, but my brother-in-law is still unmarried. We stay overnight there and then return home. Okay. Talk about the mirrors that people carry around. Many people carry around mirrors. Women especially carry a compact mirror in many cases. This is because they often fix their makeup. There is a constant demand for portable mirrors. Stores that specialize in character branded products often sell such small mirrors. They make good gifts to give to others. Lots of cosmetic products have a mirror built into the case lid. These days, some phone cases also have a mirror finish. Talk about the mirrors in your home. There are several mirrors here and there in our house. First, there's a full-length mirror inside the door to the shoe closet. I use it to give myself a once-over before I go out. There is a large mirror on the wall of the bathroom. The cover of the medicine cabinet is also a mirror. There are also mirrors inside the drawers of the wardrobe in the master bedroom. The walk-in closet also has a large mirror. I also have a magnifying mirror on the vanity table. There are lights you can flip on along the rim and mirrors on either side. Talk about the glasses you use in your life. It's because I usually wear contacts when I go outside. When I wear my glasses at home, it's because it gets uncomfortable to wear contacts all day long. I have two pairs of glasses. One is for getting comfy at home. The other pair is more fashion forward and I wear it when I go somewhere. My eyesight is quite different for each eye. The lenses were made to reflect this. I also have a pair of shades to wear it when it's sunny. I usually wear the sunglasses when I drive, so I keep them in the car. Talk about contact lenses you wear. I have poor vision, so I have worn contacts for a long time. Way back in the day, I had to clean contacts at night after wearing them during the day. Then I wore them again the next day. It felt like a chore to have contacts. Then these disposable contacts hit the market. Now instead of cleaning and reusing contacts, I draw them out when I am done with them. It's convenient because I don't need to reuse them. There are also circle lenses to make the iris's color look darker or change it altogether. You can take really great pictures if you wear them. Talk about trains in Korea. Several of the larger cities in Korea are interconnected by trains. There are different classes of trains depending on their speed. The ticket prices are higher for faster trains. In 2004, the KTX bullet train began operation. The SRT bulleted train followed suit in 2017. The speeds of these bullet trains are quicker than ordinary trains by a factor of 2 or more. They can reach speeds of 300 kilometers per hour or even higher. The emergence of these trains has cut transit time by half. Talk about how you get train tickets. In the past, you had to go to a ticket counter at the train station to get tickets. I remember having to stand in line for a long time. Later, you could book tickets for trains online. So I made reservations on computer screens. Smartphones have become the norm since then, and many users get their tickets through ticketing apps. If you type in the departure station and final destination, the app shows you the available times. You can pick out a seat and pay for the ticket right then and there. Then you get a mobile boarding pass on your phone. Getting a train ticket these days is hassle-free.